Okay, so a little history of British Honduras slash the nation better known as Belize. So there was an area in Belize district that was started by buccaneer pirate Wallace. So he named a special spot. I do believe he had like a ranch, and he coined the name Wallace, or I think he named it after himself. Let's be honest, and he named it after himself. There was an area or the little township or river, definitely a river as well, because it was on the river as well, which is current day, I'm assuming, a section that the Belize or river empties out into in Belize City area. So the name were interchangeable from Wallace to Belize, but not necessarily spelled the way how Belize is spelled this current day. Okay, so he started like a little township, or he had a little ranch or something that grew into a town on a river, and then after that it's intermittently slowly start changing and going back and forth, where the entire country or the whole country was also known as Belize. So the reason for this was due to the fact that Spain had a territorial claim over in the Western Hemisphere. Then Britannia also sought claim, but Britain didn't sought claim until after, you know, the pirates were, okay, let's go a little bit in depth in history. They had pirates going on during that time when they were over here colonizing. So Peter Wallace was a pirate, a buccaneer. Buccaneer is just like kind of like a more fluffy way of saying, you know, someone who gave birth to a community but was also a kind of horrible or terrible or bad man. Okay, so they would get into skirmish. They would battle the Dutch, the French, the British, and the Spanish to take their booty, take their prize. The English crown realized that a lot of the pirates were striking major blows. They were very successful at what they were doing, so they reached out to them to try to, you know, create some sort of treaty between them, because they were British men as well. They were from the English crown. So these guys knew the region, they knew the area. So like, I'm gonna state it again, Pirates of the Caribbean, that cove is actually Belize, because they knew how to navigate the area, and they had the barrier reef. The Belize has the largest barrier reef in the Western Hemisphere, and they knew there's a natural outlet to come in and out, and they knew that. So they would come in to try to, you know, salvage whatever they could salvage, patch and repair their ships. Once Britannia realized how valuable these guys were, and then at the same time these guys saw the region and realized what it had, which was the timber. So that is one of the reasons why Britannia staked claim against Spain for the territory known as British Honduras, better known and currently known as Belize. But let's be honest, the Spaniards slash Spanish, they never settled the area, due to the fact that Belize City is below sea level. It's swampland. Then it has most of the coast is littered or planted by a thing called mangroves. So once the pirates and the British came under agreement, they moved in to try to dominate and secure land in the New World. The British Crown also pushed to try to get the Buccaneers rights to live and settle the current nation known as Belize. It was something else back then. It was a territory. They got permission from Spain, and once they, started to become successful and doing well, tension erupt between Britannia and Spain over the territory and over the different things that they were doing, because at this point now they had merged an alliance with the pirates to try to dominate the New World. So they had a conflict, they had a battle, a skirmish, a war between the Buccaneers and Hispania, with some alliance from the British Crown. They defeated Spain in the battle what has come to known the Battle of St. George's Caye in 1798. It led to the area, the territory, becoming a British colony in 1840, then a crown colony in 1862. For some reason this is interesting to me, and I know other people might not think it's interesting, but Isaiah Emmanuel Morte was the first Belizean man to become a millionaire. And not only was he the first, he was a black man at that as well, to become the first millionaire in the nation of Belize. It also kind of stated that he was of the Igbo descendant. Some even say his parents was a part of the Ashanti royal family in current day Nigeria. He was born in 1860 and passed away 7 April 1924. He lived in Freedom District of Belize. Okay, I'm also gonna make a traditional meal that the Mayans ate back in the day. One or two of the items I don't think existed here at the time. For example, black pepper. Black pepper is a native of Malabar, a tropical region in the western coast of South India. Part of the Kerala state. I couldn't say my L with double A's there. I apologize for butchering the name. Those are the items for the traditional thing that is known as guacamole today, coined or brought to us by the Mayans. The recipe calls for a lot of chili, so this one's gonna be spicy. Getting a little scared now because of the acid content. Go light on the lime juice. It tastes amazing even though it doesn't have any salt. The Mayans knew what they were doing. I wanted to cheat and bring soy sauce, but I didn't Google when soy sauce came about, and I do believe it's from Asia, so I'm gonna use lime. I didn't bring vinegar, but you can use lime to clean and wash the onion and the tomatoes. Belize got its name due to the fact that this western world was dominated by Spain. We are neighbors to the north, Mexico, west, Guatemala, south, Honduras. and Guatemala have always taken claim. So the Spaniards back in the day had trouble pronouncing Wallace. They would say they had difficulty pronouncing the letter W. So they would say Velas. I apologize because I don't speak Spanish well. I will always butcher it. And then from there later on, as they got better, then it became Belize with an X. And don't know how to pronounce that either from a Spanish perspective or mestizo perspective. These videos were done, or I'm doing these to try to like incite civic pride, let people become more patriotic, and recognize and realize the beauty and the power that lies deep within them. You're powerful beyond measure. The beauty about that is that look at all the different things that come out of our Western Hemisphere. They coined it like to try to like the conquerors coined it to the umpteenth degree to make it seem like nothing good come out of here. But I'm not gonna rant anymore. Vanilla is currently an official item that was extracted from the Western Hemisphere. There are 3 major vanilla species, and from those 3, those are all the 3 that exist globally at this current juncture. So vanilla was originally found in Mesoamerica, including parts of present-day Mexico. I do believe the area would be where Veracruz is. And the Aztecs also defeated the Indians, the different Maya or whatever they would call themselves, and they were the one that the Aztecs brought vanilla to the world, along with, I think it was a French. If he wasn't French, he was Dutch scientist from back in the day. Tastes really good, even though there's no salt in there. So there are good and bad things about Belize. There will be things that will be publicly advertised and say, hey, these are reasons why you're not supposed to come to Belize. For example, due to the fact that corruption runs rampant throughout the nation. But there are also phenomenal and amazing reasons why you could come and explore Belize. And this is it right here for cuisines, food. It's starting to explode and erupt as it experiment and explore with the different local ingredients that are available to these high-end chefs and ma and pa soda-like establishments that provide food for the mass. This one is made with flour. Know your worth. Value you. Be kind to others. Love yourself. Believe in yourself. A small amount of corn and an extremely small amount of flour, and it's still too much. I'm having a hard time finishing it, and then I'm having a hard time getting people to be cool and open to the idea of trying it because I made it here at the park, and I don't want to throw away the tortillas and the beans and the onions and the guac. So it just has tiny dash of lime in the guacamole. The onions are a little acidic, so I did squeeze some lime juice on the onions to help break down the tanginess of the onion, and it came out well. And the refried beans and then I add freshly ground pepper, and then I'm gonna add some more chili pepper on there. The more pepper you add to it, if you're not used to eating hot stuff, still go ahead and try it. The more pepper you add to it, it definitely balances out and bring out all the natural flavors and stuff. Even though I'm doing it like from the 1800s, I did not expect it to be this delicious and tasty. They would add meat to it as well, but imagine if I had meat. I would be dying right now trying to finish this, because I'm definitely gorging myself. To neutralize the oniony taste of it, just squeeze a smidge more lime on it and drop pepper on the lime, as in the chili powder. The chili powder neutralizes that oniony strong taste, and it brings out like the sweetness of the onion and the natural sodium that's in there. Now, salt have already been invented and been in use via human consumption. I just didn't do any research in fact checking whether the Mayans were consuming salt. In time, we'll find our true identity and stamp out all the unnecessary things that make the place unsafe and unproductive. She's a young country. This is a great nation of ours. We still have our training wheels on. So come support us. Come experience and explore this jewel, the crown jewel. We gotta find ourselves. Be solution oriented. We gotta find clever ways on how to build our economy. We have the natural resources. We have the finance. We just have to get our mindset to get to that point where it matches all the resources and the finance that we have access to. It gets better when we, the people, expect more and require more. Not all the parks have this, so I was a little concerned and worried. They say if you have been using a system to try to get ahead and it's not affecting and invoking and creating and giving birth to other things to sustain life, then stop. Because they say keep on doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different outcome. It's called insanity. Expect better of yourself. The man require more from yourself. Educate, and not necessarily through education, but research, read, explore, look inward. The more you know and the more you understand and the more you're able and capable of loving yourself, the stronger you become, the more confident, the more bold, the more powerful you are. You recognize your inner beauty, the inner power that lies deep within. And then you can stand for something so you don't fall for anything.